Hello, YouTube. This is TJOmega here once again for another video, and this time I was going to talk my favorite repaints, but I thought that's a little bit boring to do on my own, so I have invited the one and only Grimlockimus to join me today. That's the other guy on the screen, not me.
Yeah, that would be me.
So, for those unfamiliar, who are you?
I am Grimlockimus. You can find me on Twitter. I pretty much just do a bunch of repaints that I seem to like, people seem to like, and yep, I paint things into other things.
Yeah, very prolifically. This is one of the best repainters I've ever seen. So, like,
Hey.
if you haven't checked him out, please go check him out. So I thought, who better to talk repaints with than you, since that is your thing.
Hey,
So,
I'm always game to talk repaints.
mhm. So I put together a top 10. He's put together a top 10. We have not told each other what they are. We're just going to go from bottom to top and compare notes and see where our tastes lie. Okay, so, and before we begin, like, without giving anything away, like, what qualifies as, like, a good repaint for you?
For me, it's something that takes the original mold and just amplifies it and makes it better using, like the detailing that comes in from the toy or the original mold, or just a creative idea that maybe like with like the bot concepts. You're taking an existing toy, turning it into something else that fits a theme, or just frankly just something that looks good.
Yeah, well, looking good, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What I found doing this list is I really like stark contrast from the original figure. I like I really like a toy that can like make me forget what the original toy was supposed to be.
I definitely have a few of those on my list too. We'll see if we have any similar tastes when it comes to repaints.
I'm sure we're going to have some.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'd be surprised if we don't have at least one, especially considering what I have, or a few of the entries I have on my list. So,
Yeah, I think once we get toward the top, I think we might start meshing a little bit here. So, how about you lead us off? What is your number 10?
all right. So my number 10, and I don't even think some people realize this toy exists. It's Adventure Swoop from the most recent RID series. It's a Japanese line. They did animated Swoop in the best way I can describe it is like laser beak colors. It has the gold face, the nice reds and
Oh,
blacks.
I remember that now.
hmm And it was the only toy from RID that I ever or from the Japanese line I ever ordered because those colors just look so good on animated Swoop. The red and the black, the nice contrast, the gold face, and like I said, it's basically laser beak colors and also frankly a little bit Robinish. Like you put Grimlock next to me, or you put like a darker shaded like Grimlock next to me. You basically got Batman and Robin and Transformers.
I love the mental image of Grimlock trying to be Batman.
Oh, hey, with that third-party Planet X one they're doing, you pretty much have it. They already got the little bat symbol on them.
Okay, yeah, true. Okay, I like that pick. Like I totally forgot that repaint existed.
And yeah,
Uh,
such a good one too.
mm-hmm. The number 10 for me was Universe 2 Ratbat.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was the Cybertron Sideways repaint.
Oh yeah.
Because that was because aside from just being a really great mold, it was one of those toys I thought, okay, with that face and that shape, that's way too distinct. I'm never gonna see that repainted in anything. Then comes in Dreamwave comic book Rat Bat, and like gives me like that perfect little homage idea. I love the purple and the gold together with the black, just kind of letting all of the rest of the colors pop. It's such a brilliant reuse because when you put those rat bat colors on there, I can see the bat in the vehicle mode. I think it's
Yeah.
brilliantly done.
Oh, absolutely.
I wanted to put the Legends rat bat on there, the one that was the Scourge repaint, but then I went, no, new head, no, doesn't count.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had to stop myself a few times from putting things on that list because I'm like, oh wait, new head, new parts, can't.
Right, right. I
Yep.
think we need. I think I should specify that before we get any farther. Is like the rule here is it has to be a straight up repaint outside of like tooling corrections to fix problems. No new head, no new chest, no new nothing. It's got to be just a straight up repaint.
And I hopefully I abided by that rule. Which and let's see here.
I mean, we'll call party foul if you didn't. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do have a couple backups just in case that occurs, but I don't think I broke that rule.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully.
yeah. Well, to my knowledge, everything I've got is completely new tooling, or
Yeah.
a completely new paint job. No new tooling. That's what I meant. All
Gotcha.
right,
Like I said, I think. All right, moving on to number 9. I take it.
number 9. You're up.
All right, this one might be a little generic, but I for my number 9 I have Universe Acid Storm out of the classic
Mm.
Starscream, and I mean, kind of going back to like how I do the repaints and that. Anytime there's a new Seeker mold, I gotta do Acid Storm in these colors. Like I love the kind of like faded green or kind of like a grayish green that they went with the kind of almost camo slash almost kind of like chemical burns on them. It looks like.
Hmm.
I just really love that color scheme, and frankly, it's I personally I think it's the thing that put Acid Storm on the map for me. Like I don't think anyone really. I mean, I wasn't a big like G1 fan, but I didn't really pay too much attention to like the green uh, Rainmaker they had in the show. But
Right.
this is the one that made me a fan of Acid Storm. Like the coloration, I just really dig it.
I mean, for me, just growing up when everything had to be green, I was just happy to see a Seeker finally in those colors.
I was gonna say, and yeah, and I appreciate too they added like the extra detailing on it, with the kind of the browns in there, the silver nose cone too. You know, and plus I'm from Wisconsin, so green and yellow always is a winner for me.
There you go. Go with loyalty. No, I like that pick. I like that pick. All right. Number 9 for me is Universe Depth Charge. So I love the first universe line had such crazy ideas for repaints and all the energon splashes they put on everything, but just the manta ray mode alone with all the airbrushing and different colors going on, like it's not something I would think they could do at a mass retail level, and it just this beautiful mix of colors and shades going into it, uh, extremely unique, and just like takes like full advantage of just what a big canvas that beast mode is. You know, really beautiful job.
Yeah, that thing is downright gorgeous.
Yeah, I saw it again at a convention over the weekend, and I was like, I'm spending way too much already. I couldn't pull the trigger on it, but oh, it's so nice it's so nice.
And honestly, I completely forgot about that once.
There you yeah.
Probably would have made my list. Honestly, now that I think about it.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we make each other go, oh right. That's the
Well, I
intended
think as we
reaction.
go higher up, I was gonna say I think as we go higher up, there might be one on my list that has that reaction. But unfortunately, some of mine are probably a little on the generic side, probably
Oh,
leading into pick number 8 for
oh,
me.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. I've got some easy ones on my list too. What's your number 8?
So, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't have a repaint of my namesake on here, but for my number 8, it's Shattered Glass Grimlock.
Mm,
And I know realistically it's just you're taking Trypticon's colors and putting them on a new toy, but I can't lie. Trypticon's colors work really well for me on the Grimlock mold. The grays, the teal, the orange. There's just something about that works for me in Grimlock that it doesn't really with Trypticon. Nothing against
really?
Trypticon, but it's a weird opinion. I'm sure, but I honestly prefer those colors on Grimlock. I don't know what it is. And again, anytime there's a new Grimlock, I gotta do them in those colors. I just love it.
No, that's cool. That's actually interesting. Uh, I I almost threw overkill in there, like like the special edition version of that
Yeah,
mold.
the white and
The
blue
white and
one, I
blue,
believe.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, almost threw that one in. Well, no, but I like that. I like that idea. Like tiny compact Triptychon does work for me. Like I actually do kind of dig that as a color scheme. So
I was gonna say, and I think it's just the color layout too, the way they kind of use the teals more with Grimlock than I think they do with Triptychon. But yeah, I'm sure there's some people who are gonna say yeah, it looks better on Triptychon, but for me, it always looks better on Grimlock.
yeah, that's your taste.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So here's my number 8 to throw people off. United Axelon. Oh, fingers gone
Oh,
to lip. I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see if it
um,
clicks. I'm waiting to see if it clicks.
was was that the one that what was the original mold? And I'm a huge Beast Wars fan. I should be ashamed I don't immediately just go light bulb. That was based off the was it the Energon Sharkticon mold?
Right,
That's
right. So,
oh
once upon a time, I can remember having a friend who said, the Sharkticon looks good, but the colors are too garish. I think I'm just gonna wait for them because they repaint everything. I'll wait for the repaint. 9 years later, Takara did this version, which is somewhat based on the Axelon's color scheme from Beast Wars, but it's the same. It's the same paint mask. It's like 1-to-1, 2-to-2, where the color locations go. But it's so much more subdued. The colors flow so much better on that version. It fixes the biggest problem with that mold, which is the vehicle mode looking like the back half got blown away from the front half. Like two completely different aesthetics from front to back. The subdued colors match and blend way better than that, and just it redefines that mold for me, which is like, again, like it's a very distinct mold, so it's hard to do, but I love how it looks in the more subdued grays and reds.
I was gonna say, I'm actually gonna have to look up pictures of that. I don't. I remember they made it. I don't recall what it looks like offhand. But you're painting a very vivid picture. That I gotta check that one out later.
Yeah. Yeah, what I love about it is because it's homaging the Axelon, that makes it the one mold I can think of that has been Autobot, Decepticon, Predacon, and Maximal. Because
Oh yeah.
Axelon was an Autobot. The original Sharkticon was Decepticon. It was Skybite in the BotCon set, so that's your Predacon, and it's based on the Maximal ship. So there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that mold has gotten around, hasn't it?
It has, like, for such a weird mold that only came out in the U.S. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm talking about the Japanese release, so I guess that's not true.
Yeah, that might be why I haven't remembered it. Like, I hate to say it, a lot of my my first five are kind of probably more well-known, repaints.
I mean, you
So,
threw
like,
Swoop in there. You threw Swoop in there.
hey, I threw one curveball. Come on,
Yeah.
I might have one more later on, but
Okay. Okay. So what's your number 7 then?
number seven. So going with another BotCon toy that again I'm just a big fan of these colors. It is I want to say well I want to call it by its original name, the Halloween Horror Con Waspinator, but I think they called it
Oh.
Paralyzer, was it?
Oh.
Sorry, I have a little quote here. Oh yeah, Paralyzer. I think they called it.
Yeah.
It was part of the Reruder set. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but um, and they gave them all like these fancy names. But yeah,
Yeah.
Halloween HorrorCon Waspinator. I mean, purple and black is just a winning combination on most repaints, but the thing that sells me on this is the gold. The shiny metallic gold throughout this just pops. The kind of subdued reds and the wings and the stinger just kind of pop to me as well. And honestly, nothing against Waspinator's original coloration, but I just really dig this, especially the golds on here. Like, yeah, they could have done with more faded gold, but it just, like I said, it just pops.
Yeah, I really do dig the colors. Yeah, the black and the purple always works really well. And
Oh yeah.
kind of with Rat Bat, you throw some gold in there. It's a very regal, eye-catching color scheme. Yeah, yeah, that's a solid pick.
All right, so let's see. What do you got for number 8?
Well, we just talked number 8. Um,
Oh, we're on 7?
we're on 7 now.
Okay, sorry, losing track.
This is why I'm hosting this. Uh, okay, so here's one. Here's another left field one I really like. RID Night Cruise. So this is the Beast Machine Spy Streak mold. The one that's 50% arm-mounted weaponry. And when they did
The fingers going to the chin again. I'm like, okay, which one? Which one?
Which one is it?
Which one?
It's the jet mold from the Viacons, except in RID it was painted black, a little black with hits of off white and yellow. But what makes it like so amazing looking is this off white paint wash they did for all the detailing on the figure, and they had it on Spy Streak in red. And it doesn't work. A Spy Streak was a dark green on red. It looked like a Christmas nightmare. But the black with the off-white makes everything pop so well. It's such a dynamic looking figure as a result. And I just... that's the one... Oh, here. What am I doing? Okay. Speaking of Sharkticon, the one full repaint I ever did
Ooh.
was the Sharkticon as Night Cruise.
Okay, so, now I think I know which one. Now I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so like that kind of wash on it.
Ooh.
He is dusty. I haven't dug this one out in a long time.
So that's another one I'm gonna have to look up too. Like I said, my memory on some of these older lines too are a little faded, but that sounds like a good one.
All right, so number 7 for you.
Number 7. Oh, wait, didn't we just do 7, or are we on 6?
No, we start with you. You did. Okay, see, now you got me screwing up now. Now it's my turn to mess this up.
We're 1 for 1 again.
We're 1 for 1.
All right, so again, one that probably everybody knows about, but I couldn't just not put it on the list because I love this repaint too much. The Fox Kids Transmetal Tarantulas. Like I said, it's one that I think is kind of universally liked, but I couldn't not put on the list. For me, especially, it's the greens that do it for me. Black and silver, or even like black and kind of like that lightish gray. Again, a nice combination that's going to work. But the greens on there just kind of help make things pop with his eyes and towards the helmet. Those orange eyes are a nice striking contrast between all these other colors that they use. It really helps the face kind of pop on that mold. And, again, it just looks so good to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one where it's so different from the original because it takes all those wild colors that Transmetal Tarantulas had and subdues them all down, and it brings out a completely different character to him.
Exactly. This could be, you could give it any other name other than Tarantulas, and it's still, it could work as its own character. It's still, the colors still hold on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one I really, really like. I kind of have an easy one for number 6 as well. Completely easy here, but Cybertron Cannonball.
No, I know the mold. Was that a repaint? I thought it had a new head.
No.
Or am I? No.
No.
I'm gonna have to check that again.
Cannonball's a straight up repaint.
He was a repaint of Red Alert, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, a pirate repaint based solely on the fact that he has one hand missing. But like the dark gray and gold works really nice for me. I like the contrast pop with the off-white and the bright green decal down the side of the vehicle. Painting, I love the cheesiness of just painting over one side of his eyes black, just so to kind of make it look like he has an eye patch. It doesn't work, but it makes me laugh that they tried in the first place. So that actually makes me love it a little bit more. And again, to take like an ambulance and to cast it as this, basically a pirate van, I think was a really commendable job.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to double check. I think I actually excluded that one from my list because I could have sworn from memory. I'm like, wait, no, they had a new head, didn't he? I'm like,
The last time they did it, it had a new head because they did it
that
from
might have been what was
yeah, because
okay.
they did it from Prime
Yeah,
Ratchet.
yeah, that might have been what was throwing me off there. Oop.
All
Okay, I
right,
thought my Discord just closed. All right, we're on number 5. We're
we're
double
on.
checking, so we
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. That was number 6. You're up on
Okay.
number 5.
All right, probably going with another basic one, but again, I just really like this repaint. Universe Razor Claw, the
Hmm.
black and purple repaint of Tigerhawk. And I thought when I was looking up this guy, I thought they had I think he had like remolded ears. I think if I'm remembering correctly, but I didn't think it was anything major enough to.
No, no, no.
I thought I thought he had like something done to him, but or I thought he had like pointier ears or something,
Nah.
but.
He still qualifies for this.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I didn't think that would be a huge enough change, but again, black and purple is just a winning combination. I tried not to make the mold itself a factor, but I'm also a huge fan of the Tigerhawk mold. The kind of like crimson color they added to the wings or the feathers is a nice touch that I like. The bright silver on the claws just really stands out to me, and those eyes, just the striking green eyes on the beast mode head, just like I say, it's I just really enjoy, I really dig this repaint.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime I think black and purple is probably one of the hardest color schemes to get wrong. Like
Yeah,
it just looks good no matter what you do with it.
I mean it's just so visually pleasing. I mean it's on my top 10 list twice now
Yeah,
because
we're lucky. We're lucky this list isn't just a bunch of sky warps, to be honest.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, my next 4 picks get away from that. I swear, this is the last black and purple on my list.
Okay, all right. I make no promises. Um, so number 5, and this is going to shock you. Uh, Fox Kids Tarantulas. We got one.
We got a double dose.
So yeah, like I said, just like that, like the bright, the white and the black, just such a huge contrast from the original, and because of the theme of it, because it's this like Vok re-empowered
Yeah.
tarantulas, I love that hit of green because it gives it that look of it gives a more like alien possessed look, like the Vok is glowing through him. Like it's a really striking little bit of deco to add into what is a pretty like just pretty stark black and white color scheme, but it works. Like it does what you shouldn't be able to do with tarantulas. It makes him creepier. That I like.
If Tarantulas wasn't already creepy enough, they found a way to make him even creepier.
Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for like the cannibalism and all that, no, no, we found a way. Yeah, again, easy one, easy one.
Yeah.
Any surprise for number 4?
Yep. Number 4, I think might have a surprise. My number 4 is Universe Reptilian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is my oddball pick. And first off, I never really dug the original Transmetal 2 Iguanus colors, especially the head, like that, the orange they use with the mouth and the eye. It just, especially with the mouth, it just kind of seemed like there was just a massive orange on his face that you really couldn't make out the teeth, at least to me. The reptilian mold kind of fixes that with the silver, where he has this giant grin against a kind of teal face, the light green eye peeking out, and the color scheme for the beast mode for me is my favorite because it just looks toxic. I mean, he's got this bright green and almost kind of like a corroded brownish green surrounding the body. The frills having that orange kind of with silver. The silver, The only thing I'd nick on it is I wish both of the robot mode legs had the same coloration. One's kind of that corroded greenish color, while the other one's kind of painted up silver. But with the silver, at least I can see like it can kind of reflect maybe a chemical burn or a heat burn on it, and you can kind of see that like creeping up his leg to the rest of the body. Like I said, the whole thing just looks like a toxic mess, and I just kind of love it for it. I really, and personally, if I could switch the Transmetal 2 Iguanas with this one, I think this one's a better fit for the Iguanas character for a Transmetal 2 mode, because the colors just seem like a more natural progression from, the frill or the brown and yellow frilled lizard to the reptilian color scheme, rather than a blue and orange frilled lizard who
Yeah.
just has this like orange grin on his face all the time.
I think a lot of the Transmetal 2s missed the mark because they were going for colors, for like bright and colorful more than, what can we actually do with the figure and the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a out there pick. I like that.
And like I was saying too, I some of the repaints I really like are ones that take the original mold and just kind of, to me at least, make them better. And this is one of them. And I forgot to mention too, like the silver in his eye, almost kind of like he looks like he's blind. He looks like he's just this toxic, blind mess who's kind of holding it together. But I just really dig it.
That's a fascinating one. Number 4, my list from here I think is kind of basic, kind of predictable, but like they're up there for a reason. So this is RID Scourge. This is the original Black Convoy, the progenitor of all the Nemesis Primes to follow. It's a great mold to make an evil Optimus out of because it has that G2 edginess to it. It gives him a much sharper, meaner look than most Optimus Primes. The black and the teal work really, really well. I like the lines of the teal going through like the helmet to give him a more distinct profile. Taking advantage of the fake window chest to give him some added detail and to separate him further from Optimus Prime, I thought was really, really good. To make an evil Optimus, I think it's just a perfect mold to choose, the right time to do it, it's one of those times where we've seen so many Optimus Primes get those Nemesis recolors. I don't think any of them have really hit it the way Scourge did, even the ones that are based on Laser Optimus Prime.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick too, because like I said, I kind of figured one of us would have a Nemesis Prime repaint on this list, but all the points you're making, yeah, Scourge really does seem like it'd be the best of the bunch.
Yeah, there's sometimes you just don't do better than the original. So, is there much to say about Scourge? I think that's all we really need to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, let's be honest. Black repaints are always going to be pretty good.
Yeah. All right. It's time for the top 3.
And I'm starting mine off with the exact opposite of a black repaint.
White repaint?
Not quite. Let's just say uses all the colors in the rainbow. My number 3 pick isn't particularly based on, like a good usage of the colors. It's just a matter of the fact that I just love this for how garish it is. My number 3 is Shattered Glass Thundercracker. I'll be honest, nothing about this color scheme should work. It literally just throws colors at this thing, and it's got purple, green, red, blue, gold. Yeah, again, those colors should not work together, and they don't.
They don't.
But I love it for that reason. It's just such an out there idea that, like I mean, they could have just done, it's just another Seeker with a base color, or we're gonna reverse Thundercracker's colors and make him primarily, we'll just make him black with highlights of blue or something like that. Nope, they just added every color possible, just made this thing a neon sight to behold, and again, I wish I could say more about like why I like it. I just like it because it's colorful, makes no sense, and sometimes those are the ideas I really dig.
Admittedly, I kind of regret selling mine off because, yeah, I really do like those colors. And I like it for the same reasons. I like it for just how outlandishly garish it is. Like
Exactly.
he looks like the Crayola factory exploded.
He was probably at the center of it when it did explode.
Yeah, Ground Zero, the crayon factory. Yeah. Uh, so for my number three, uh, again, no real shock here. Energon Galvatron. That was the first time in a long time we'd actually had a proper Galvatron. Until then, we had white Megatrons being Megatron toys being repainted white and called Galvatron. That was RID. That was Armada, and then he started off white in Energon, so they couldn't do that. So instead, we got like one of the first straight up homage to the original Galvatron, and it's one of the rare times I can remember the U.S. paint job being better than Japan's, because Japan did have the show accurate like blue on the crown and the blue detailings
Yeah.
on him. They left the abs mostly untouched, so there's just kind of a flat area. The U.S. version, just lavish metallic purple, like black details instead of blue. They lined out the abdomen so it looked like the original. And right down to like the fact that the little tank accessory came with was in Armada Galvatron colors. So like I love that as just like a little touch to pull the whole thing together. Just in general, just like a very just amazing homage that Hasbro would pull off at a time when they really weren't trying to do G1.
Yeah, I was gonna say not just you're reminding me about the Unicron trilogy now because what was it? Armada had it was kind of like white and purple, wasn't it? And
Yep.
then Cybertron did was it more like a silver and black, wasn't it?
So Cybertron, the first version of Megatron and Cybertron was like all the colors, very colorful. And then
Yeah.
when he became Galvatron, it was just straight up G1 Megatron colors.
Yeah, yeah. Energon was the only one that actually did them in purple, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's just a line of like just silver and white Galvatrons, and then just boom, just hardcore G1 homage in the middle.
let's see. Oh, good pick. Honestly, for some reason I kept on thinking they did purple one more time in Unicron, but yeah, they really did not want to do Galvatron in purple for the longest time,
No,
didn't they?
no. They're trying to avoid it. Didn't get away with it that time. Number two.
Okay, so my number two, and this one might be a little on the basic side, but I can't lie. I just love the colors on this too much. Robots in the Skies Cryotech.
Mm.
That is just. I mean, the concept alone is pretty standard. Okay, Transmetal 2 Megatron. Oh, he's the Fire Dragon. Well, what if we just make another one, but make him the Ice Dragon? Simple enough concept, but the colors just make this thing shine. The wings especially, they use like the black wings that kind of go into I believe it's an airbrushed kind of like icicle effect of white or light blue.
Hmm.
The kind of like it almost looks more like a lightish bluish green that they use for the underbelly as well. But the colors on this thing just pop again. The little additions of purple, fading into the blue in certain areas as well, just kind of helps certain areas pop out as well. You know, and again, it's just a really good color scheme for a toy that I mean, I put the original Megatron toy I liked, but I do think the mold's better with these colors, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that pick. You're right. It's a little basic, but like the ice blue, all the different blues blending together, like it is a. I remember as a kid just being like enamored with that figure, just because it hits the mark so well for what's going for.
Oh yeah.
So my number 2 might be out there, might be common. I don't know. I don't care. I love this one. It is the 2007 Fracture. That is, and we got
turning it Fracture.
Got on the lip. This is the Classics Mirage repaint. This is the one that was done up into GoBot's Crasher, and which was intended to be Classic Crasher, but they couldn't get the rights to the name. So it is the F1 car done up in the black and the white with the red highlights and the pink face in the robot mode. And going back to what I said before, like I love a repaint that can make me forget about the original toy and character. I look at that figure and I do not see Mirage. Like it just straight up looks like Crasher, a thin one, albeit, but to be like if you're gonna pick a mold to gender swap, it's not a bad one to pick. It looks, it could very easily pass for a female figure. And yeah, I'm of the opinion that every Mirage they make should be done up as Fracture at some point. I think it's just a really, really cool color scheme and a really cool visual trick to switch the characters so well.
Yep, solid pick. Like I said, it took a while for me to get the name, but I know exactly which one you're talking about now. And I'm trying to think, did they ever do another one like that with Mirage before, or was that the only one?
No, it's the only time they've done that. And I know third parties kind of picked up on the idea. I've got third party Crashers that used to be Mirages.
Hopefully they do that again, because now that I remember it, that color scheme was very good on that one.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking at the Kingdom mold. I'm waiting. Where is it? Where is it? All right, this is it. I don't have a drum roll prepared.
Okay. Put me on the spot. Put me on the spot with my number one. Okay. All right. So my number one is Robots in Disguise Skybite. And
my number one is RID Skybite.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. Yes. We did it. We
have similar opinions.
We agreed on the internet.
And you know what? I even brought out his original toy here, Cybershark.
Cybershark, yeah.
Man, does this thing not hold a candle to Skybite?
Oh no, not even close.
And again, I think this is just going to turn to a discussion about Skybite. Pretty
much. Let's go for it. Why not? It's the number one.
So going back to what you're saying with your number two pick about repaints that make you completely forget about the original toy and character. Case in point.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Skybite. Greatest shark around.
Yep.
Nobody remembers Cybershark aside from the Hammerhead toy, but that doesn't count.
We don't talk about that one.
Like even amongst customizers, like when they did the Generation Skybite toy, and before this call, I even tried looking around to see if I could find anyone who took the newest Skybite toy and turned it into Cybershark. Nobody. They turned it into the original Cybershark toy with the blue color, the Hammerhead color scheme. I have not found a single person who actually went back and turned him into the original Transmetal color scheme, and to me that says a lot.
Oh,
typically. Yeah. That says leagues. Like even me. Like when I got that toy, I'm like, do I really want to turn the thought occurred to me like, okay, I could turn this into the Transmetal Cybershark, but why would I want to do that? Why would I want to make something inherently worse just for the sake of a reference that most people aren't going to want? People love Skybite, and the color scheme just works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, just looking at Cybershark here, I mean, there's so many little molded details in that just don't get to pop or don't get to really show themselves because of the kind of muted colors they went with on this. But with Skybite, I mean, they took the time, they painted in the mechanical detailing, they added the little colors for like the lights on his sides. The navy blue fading into the underbelly of silver and white just looks gorgeous to me. And the robot mode color scheme is just leagues better, where Cybershark looks like he's, I hate to say it, kind of sickly almost with the green, and This one's just, it's bright, it's vibrant. The yellows really pop against the kind of like navy blue, and the yellow for the face just again brings attention to a part of the toy that on Cybershark really didn't really it didn't really work as well.
Yeah, that goes back to my complaint on Transmetal 2's being so focused on bright colors, they kind of forgot to do anything with the details provided to them. You know, and he's the same way. It's just airbrushed green down the side. Yeah, what's brilliant on Skybite in his beast mode is just you have those completely organic color schemes with the actual like the skin tones on the shark, leading into all those hard cybernetic details that they're very intricately painted. All the little lights and diodes that get their individual spots. It's one of the rare times. Hasbro actually added to that. They added more paint from the Japanese version. So the version we got here in America is even like more detailed than the original concept. And yeah, it's like it feels like what Transmetal 2 should have been, which is all that organic detail and then this like these really pronounced cybernetic components thrown in. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and then you get into the robot mode with the blue and the yellow pops with the off-white and just brings out so much character to that toy that never existed as Cybershark.
Absolutely, and just the fact too that even if you excuse like the character itself, like because again I take this when I made this list, I looked at the repaint alone. I didn't try to say like, oh, I like this character so I like their repaint, because you could have things like Tigatron, Black Arachne on there too if you're looking at character. So I try to avoid that with Skybite when adding to him to the list. But the repaint itself just holds up so well, and even to the point that Skybite's made a resurgence. Again, he's got the Generations toy. He's got the new Cyberverse toy, I think it was. And even in both of those instances, like I said, I was talking about customizers not touching it. Hasbro hasn't touched it either. They could, and this is Hasbro. They love doing repaints. They love swapping the colors, putting something new out on the shelf. Didn't do that once. And again, it'd be an easy one, like, oh hey, we made him a little greener. Now he's Cybershark. Didn't bother.
It says a lot when they would rather come up with a completely new character like Hellwarp rather than just take it back to its original color scheme.
Also, something funny I thought I'd share while we're essentially praising Skybite and I'm being mean to Cybershark. My Cybershark actually broke during this conversation.
Are you kidding?
His tail fin just broke off. It's like I like to think that the emotional discourse of our conversation physically broke Cybershark.
I feel bad for Cybershark now. We've emotionally broken him and physically broken him.
Yeah, but again, and again, nothing against anyone who does generally like Cybershark, but again, Skybite just takes that mold and brings what's normally a 5 up to an 11.
Yeah,
just so good.
Yes, so good. All right, and I think that's it for our list. If we're agreeing on number 1, there's no reason to go over it. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hey, pleasure to be here, and I appreciate the invite.
Let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Chrome Tyranno, not at Grimlockimus for some reason. I didn't plan that through. Just look for the guy who's posting a bunch of stuff being painted.
Yeah, you'll find him, or find some of his stuff that went viral, and because that's all over the internet too. But thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. So until then. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.